Hey everyone, let me get myself situated. I just got downstairs. I'm feeling a little all over the place. And let me wait till you guys are all in here. I'm so unprepared. Ay, ay, ay. Hey Facebook, I'm going to remind everybody on Facebook, if you're tuning in over here, ooh, Long Island is tuning in. Hello. If you're tuning in on Facebook and you want me to address your questions, come over to the YouTube channel, which is Intuitive Medium YouTube. It's already started. I'm already a mess. It's 8:31. I'm 20 seconds into this. Intuitive Medium Deborah Hanlon on YouTube. Find me, click subscribe, join me there, and then I can answer your questions. You can stay here and watch me on Facebook as well, but I'm not as attentive to your questions over here as I am for those of you in front of me. And tonight, again, you're joining me from my living room, but not really because I'm in my basement studio and I am in front of a green screen, which I think is just fascinating. I gotta straighten myself out. Hello, everyone. Let me see who's tuning in here. Oh, there's a lot of you here already. Holy crap. Susan, you're the first one I see. Hello, Sheila from Nevada. I love when you guys, when you're tuning in. Hey, Grace, you write where you're tuning in from. So that's always helpful because I love to see like where around the globe. Let's get around the globe that you're tuning in from. Victoria from Manhattan, you must be related to Susan. So I hope Susan shared me with you and you're tuning in. South Glens Falls. Barbara, hello. Carolyn, hello. Melanie, hello, lady. Oh, my poison ivy. I am scarred. I can't even tell you. Like, I've never had, I know it sounds like I was being such a baby last Monday when I was saying that I didn't want to do live because I had poison ivy, but it was all over my neck, this whole side of my face. I am scarred. Wait, it's better over here. Scarred. My legs, it's ridiculous. I was so miserable and I thought there's no way I could focus and like be seen like that. But it's doing much better. Someone told me to get, a lot of you thankfully told me to get Technu, and I washed with that, even though it was like a week after being exposed, and that did start drying it up. But I'm scarred and bruised from scratchings. I'm ridiculous. So for those of you who have had poison ivy, I've never had it this bad. Like I would get like a patch here or there. I'd walk through patches of poison ivy and not get anything. I don't know why this season or 2 weeks ago, I was just like hit with it, but oh my God, it was miserable. So hello, Dan Diane. Ooh, Lucky 31 Clothing is in the house. Hello. Let's see. Hey, Chris. Oh, I bet you loved that article. I had to tag you on Facebook for that. Lee, oh my God, you are turning in. See, we are going global. She's tuning in from Istanbul, Turkey. It's 3:30. I'm assuming that's in the afternoon. I hope you had a great flight over there. And this is so cool. So you can share me with the country of Turkey, which ironically, this weekend I was in a yoga workshop and we were talking about Rumi. And of course, I couldn't sleep the last 2 nights because of good reasons why. I was actually like really calm and I was just not feeling like I needed sleep so much. And I started reading so much of Rumi, who is from Turkey. So see how it all comes back around. Amanda, hello. Good to see. Thank you. Thank you that poison ivy is doing better. Yes, we'll get to some questions in a few minutes. Let's see who else is on. Dana, those of you on Facebook. Nils, oh my God. Hi. Oh my God. I'm sorry. Look, a squirrel. Nils, I'm so glad to see you watching and tuning in. You're like a buddy from really important stuff. So if you are on Facebook, you're looking at me at a green screen, and I'm not really addressing questions over on Facebook, but you can come on to YouTube and join me over here, and then I'll get to some of your questions, and I just like to chat and talk about all sorts of stuff with all of you guys. So join me on YouTube. It's Intuitive Medium Deborah Hanlon. Greg is posting the link on Facebook so that you can jump over to YouTube over here. West Palm Beach, Florida. Hello, Jessica. Very cool. Pleasant Valley, Gigi, Dana, hello. Rhonda from Baltimore. We're really getting around there. This is great. Rhinebeck, Colleen, I had this urge to go up to Omega and just go to the sanctuary today. And I just got sidetracked, but I really was this close to just taking the drive up to Omega up in Rhinebeck today. So hello, Colleen. Athens, hello, Melissa. Beth from Sussex, New Jersey. Middletown, hello, Nancy. I know who you are. Let's see, Rich, good to see you. Niskayuna from Jody. Andrea, Christy from Albany. Gardeners in the house. Woodstock. Oh, I'm going to see a concert soon in Woodstock in a couple weeks. I'm really totally excited about it. I have a new girl crush. I'm obsessed. Let's see, Barbara from Albany. Sharon, hello. Poughkeepsie. New Windsor for Patricia. And let's see, now you're responding to my Facebook. Oh, I'm glad you like the book, Shana. Shana. I think it's Shana. You can correct me. Oh, Andrea, your dad had it. Westchester. Let's see. They're looking at my House Cavern. Oh, okay. I know you finally made it to one of my galleries. You met me. Yes, you spoke to me, Laura. I'm so glad you introduced yourself because I see you here on social media all the time, and I'm glad you stopped and let me know who you are. I had a really great Jim Mulligan from California. That's fantastic that you're here. This is great. Gilderlin, Athens, Troy. It's 3:30 in the morning in Turkey. Wow. So Lee tuning in from Turkey at 3:30 in the morning. You must have jet lag, but Greg is upstairs. He's tuning in from the furthest distance. Hello, Patty. Oh, it's so exciting to see all of you. I really get a rush. I really get totally excited about it. New Pulse is in the house. So welcome everyone. It's Monday night. Sorry, last Monday I had a serious case of poison ivy. And I'll tell you what, I'm never going in my yard again. That's for sure. I'm done now because one, poison ivy attacked me and got all over me. It's still all over my stomach and legs. It's ridiculous. And two, Greg found a snake in the yard. So I'm done. I'm good now. I now stay indoors for the rest of the summer. Yes, that's exactly it. The heat's going to come up and I'm just going to be in the summer in the house because of poison ivy, and nature is gross sometimes, unless it's a beach, like those of you out in California tuning in. So welcome everyone. So for those of you who are joining in for the first time, this is my Monday night YouTube live where I just get a chance to interact with you, and I try to answer generic questions, things that everyone can get just insight and information about, things that you might want to ask about mediumship or energy or intuition, and really getting in touch with your own intuition. I've said so many times before that I want to teach more than anything. I want to teach because I love watching the lights go on in people's eyes when they're suddenly realizing just how intuitive you already are. And when you actually take the leap from just talking about what you want to do in life and then actually doing it, I mean, I get completely high off of that. So my work is so transitioning to teaching modalities. I have added, finally, write this down, everybody. I didn't put one of these banner things up. I did have time today. I just didn't do it. I totally had a day to myself today. But I'm teaching Introduction to Mediumship. Finally, I haven't taught it in 4 or 5 years. And it's right now packaged in 4 sessions. You can, of course, come to all 4, but they will operate independently of each other. But it's certainly, of course, best to get all 4 in. I will record them online through Zoom. So if you do sign up for it and you can't attend live, then you'll get the Zoom recording of it. So if that's an option for you, you could do that. It's on my website, deborahhanlon.com. So that's exciting. I'm excited so that people can finally get better educated on what mediumship is and isn't. You all hear me talk about how I hate paranormal TV shows, and I hate when, all this creepy ghost weirdness is out into the public. And really, Mediumship is just another facet of consciousness, and it's just directed, intended consciousness. And you can tune into a frequency or a vibration. I don't know if everyone can do it for everyone else. I certainly know you can be your own best mediums for your own loved ones. But if you're interested in learning about the skill and the consciousness shift that mediumship is, that's the class for you. So yes, it's offered online. Yes, it's in person. Obviously, it's so much better to take any of the classes in person because I can really work with you one-on-one. But I have such a broad group now all across the country, and I'm going to say globe because Turkey is tuning in. So we're going global finally. Deborah Hanlon got on board in 2019, just a tiny little bit. So that's coming up. Introduction to Mediumship. And today on Facebook, for those of you on Facebook who may have seen it today, I started kicking around the idea of spiritual summer camp for adults. And I'm really thinking about doing one like maybe 4 Mondays throughout July and August. You can come to all 4, of course, or you can just pick a day where you actually take a day off for yourself and join me at a very special location. I won't say where yet. To spend the day in silent retreat and journaling. And I'm thinking of arts and crafts and yoga and all sorts of different activities, just like summer camp, but for adults with a spiritual, conscious self. So all that's coming up in the summertime. So a lot of teaching is coming up. And of course, meditation is always available online and in person. So Greg is posting all sorts of links here for those of you who want like my website and all of that. I'm seeing him post that. And I'm sure he'll post links to my book, In the Presence of Proof, which is doing very well. I just ordered a ton more copies coming in on Friday, actually. I might want to try to get to talking about a little bit about the book because we haven't really started the book club like I wanted to. So if you have questions about anything in my book and it's in front of you, by all means, you can post them here. Those of you on Facebook, don't forget you can tune in on YouTube, and that's where I'll really pay attention to your questions. You can certainly still listen to me on YouTube, on Facebook, but I'm only going to really pay attention to the questions that people are posting over here on YouTube. And my YouTube channel is Intuitive Medium Deborah Hanlon. So, your guys are talking about snakes. Horrible, terrible, terrible. I can't. So I one time was walking with my friend Kristen and around a lake nearby, and I'm not kidding when I tell you a snake that was a glorified worm. It was not much bigger than a worm, but it was a snake. And I swear it just crossed our path, the slithery nature of it. Oh my God. I started screaming, like, get it out of my aura. It's in my aura. Get it out of me. Like, I don't know what it is about snakes, but I hate them. They're so terrifying that I can't stand them. So that's it. Poison ivy and snakes are in the outside area. So I'll remain indoors for the rest of the summer unless I'm at a beach. Horrible. Oh, you had it in your living room? Oh, Carolyn. Oh my God. No, I'd move. I'd have to burn the house down. I don't know what I'd do. So tonight, this format is for you to ask those generalized questions. I'm going to take Mike's first here. It's a great question. But just all things generalized. I'm not taking personal intuitive questions tonight. Every once in a while, I'll throw in a night where I surprise you and I'll just take your personal intuitive questions. But this is stuff more generalized. So it's not really the opportunity tonight to ask about like jobs or anything particular for family members, friends, or yourself, but it's generalized stuff. Like Mike's question, let me add it. He asks, ooh, it's right in front of my face. What's my experience with yoga nidra and versus other forms of meditation? Yoga nidra is fabulous because you basically just lay and rest. So I had a woman who was teaching yoga nidra at the center for a while, and then she did prenatal yoga at the same time. I have not studied transcendental meditation. This is where you actually really, really focus on a particular mantra, usually given by a teacher or a guru. And I don't have a guru in that way. I'd love one, and I'm sure that's like my next evolution where I will have the guru kind of appear when it's time. Um, but the way I love meditation now, first of all, I'm really, really into yoga. I'm getting more and more into yoga just for my own personal need and necessity. After my injury, I had to do yoga. So it wasn't even like a spiritual quest or trying to be like fit and cool. It was literally like I wouldn't be able to walk if I didn't do basic poses. And yoga is, I think, by far, hands down, the best meditative practice a person can do because it's mind and body. And I'm learning so much more about the connection of both. So, yoga is for everybody. Um, but I love teaching guided meditation because it's really for beginners and experts. And a guided meditation is just that, where I just lead you through a series of prompts, and you either follow my voice or you allow my voice to take you off into another space. And the benefits are amazing. I mean, I've been leading meditation circles for 15 years. I will never stop. I love it. I have them every other Sunday, either morning or night, at my center. And it is not only is a meditation so obviously poignant and deep, and people can really meet aspects of themselves. Sometimes we go back into our former lives. Sometimes we go visit our younger selves or our future selves. Sometimes we visit loved ones who have passed. I mean, so much happens during meditation. But what the magic really is in the meditation group is the community discussion afterwards, where we share what we've experienced, and you can ask questions about, why did I see that? What did this mean? You can really kind of note and chart your own progress with meditation in my group. So the group itself, and seeing that other human beings are in the exact same boat as everyone else, is beyond the there's no price tag on it, because so many times we all think we're like just losing it, and we all think we're the only one who's stressed about money or anxiety or finances, or which is money, but whatever. Relationships, identity, purpose. And that's the forum where we really talk about all of it. And you can start to see that you're totally not the oddball in the room, and you're not doing anything wrong. I think so many of us think that, like, oh my God, I fucked up my life. I'm not doing something right. I'm not feeling happy and wonderful all the time. And I don't think that's realistic. In fact, I know it's not realistic. But being in a group of really vulnerable, honest people in a safe and fun manner, it's amazing. And I'm sure all of you are chiming in. Many of you who have taken my meditation classes will find that the group dynamic is what's so important. So, get into some kind of practice. I do think for myself, I know I need accountability. So if I just leave it to my own devices to just, oh, I'm going to meditate 20 minutes a day, I'm not going to do it. I might do it the first day, maybe 2 days in a row. But by the third day, I'm like, oh, screw this. I can't focus. I can't do it. And then I just fall off the wagon. And that's pretty much what everybody does. So get some accountability, get people together, find a group, find a yoga studio, find somewhere to go where you meet with people, because that's really adds to the experience. And then you can take home with you different aspects, and you'll find that the conversation that you're sharing throughout the night of meditation will go on throughout the next 2-3 weeks, and something someone said will hit you 3 weeks later, 5 months later. And it's just absolutely outstanding. And I really will say my meditation groups, that's just the most real, fun group of people on the planet. Really. I mean, how could you not? I'm dropping F-bombs, and I'm going to keep it real. We're not going to sugarcoat shit with like, oh, everything's great. Let's peace and love. It's not always that. So that's the answer to that question, Mike. So there you go. Find some sort of meditative practice, preferably with me. But if you don't find it with me, find it with someone. Deepak and Oprah do a great one. I don't even think theirs is as cool as mine. I'm sorry. I'm going to totally be an a-hole and say that. But it's the group. It's not even mine. And when I say mine, I don't mean me. I mean like my group, my people, my posse. They're the ones who make it. So let's see. Hey, yes, Missy, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Missy said only 16 likes. There's 72 people on here. Everyone hit the like button. That would be fantastic if everybody hit the thumbs up. Not add a thumbs up in the comment, but hit the thumbs up button. I don't know where it is, but it's somewhere on your screens. My screen is different from what I'm seeing from all of you. But yes, if you can all blast me with some thumbs up, that would be fantastic. All right, so thank you, Missy, for saying that. Okay, Carolyn, this is a great question. How does one become more aware of that little voice? So many times something will happen and then I realize, shit, why wasn't I aware when the thought before happened? Isn't that amazing? Ooh, I'm seeing your thumbs up. Thank you. Yeah. So first, I think that's a great question. It's that little voice. It's that intuitive self that like, you're like, oh my God, I knew better. I knew better. Sometimes we're just going to be completely taken off guard and we're totally not going to listen to the voice. So if you can allow for a little bit of leeway and know that you're not going to get it 100% of the time. I don't. I literally eat, breathe, sleep, live all this world. Don't forget, like a lot of you are doctors and nurses, you work in offices, you are stay-at-home moms and dads, you are real estate moguls, you are having these like crazy involved lives. My life is only to talk about this stuff, to think about this stuff, to focus on this, consciousness and being aware and all that. And I still miss my signs. So just know that you're not going to be 100%. However, going back to Mike's question, meditation will help because what meditation does is it slows the mind's reactions and it allows you to see things much more clearly. So where you might have reacted to a situation, you'll actually be calm and still to respond to something and you'll be able to hear that voice in a calmer state. Other times my intuitive development classes will address this, that everybody has a different tool and a different way to hear your intuition. Like I might hear it, I might feel it, I might see it. In fact, it's all of the above for me and most likely for all of you as well. But, everyone has kind of a strength. And if you start to play on that strength, if you remind me, we'll do a little one at the end. I think we did one 2 weeks ago, and I'll do an exercise of how to exercise your intuition, how to pay attention to it a little bit more at the end of this. But it's a learning process, but it's actually not as difficult as you would think. The hard part is getting to that still centered space, that non-reactive space. So meditation, constant awareness, and knowing that sometimes you're just not going to realize, oh my gosh, that was such an intuitive hit until after the fact. I call them my big long thoughts, my BLTs. And I have them all day long. And I often don't know it connects until later. I'll go, oh, no wonder I had that thought earlier. And it amounts to nothing. It doesn't even help me in any way, shape, or form. But I'll have a thought about, I don't know, a wolf. And then I'll hear later that evening that like our neighbor saw a wolf. So it's like not earth shattering, but it was information that I was like, oh, that was why I had a random thought about a wolf today. So you just start to pay attention, and meditation helps you to pay attention. Let's see. Hello. Let's see. You have to go, Lee. Okay. Yes, you have to get up at 7. So she has to get up in less than 4 hours to tour the city of Istanbul, Turkey. So have a good night, Lee, if you haven't logged off already. Hey, Annie from Colorado. Fantastic that you're here. Let's see. Tiana, let's see. It's Christy, right? I think you said you're Christy. The other side can physically guide you, can't they? I asked someone to literally show me the way to their stone in a cemetery and was immediately on top of them. I never felt so connected. Totally. That's a great question. So remember, and this is going to sound silly at first, but remember the game Hot and Cold, what we played as younger, and I forget, like, were our eyes closed? Yeah, our eyes were closed, and like you'd say, like, oh, you're getting hotter, you're getting closer, or you hit an object in the room and you're like, you're cold, and like it meant you're far from it, and you're really hot, meant you're close to it. That's using the intuition. So something like that, someone guiding you to a stone, guiding you to lost items in your home. Like, I know St. Anthony is like the greatest for me. I love St. Anthony. When I can't find something, I'm like, oh, please, St. Anthony, help me find it. And he guides me to it. You just know where it is. So yeah, they absolutely can. But it's hard to say what is them guiding you and what is your intuitive self. And the reality is there's no difference between that consciousness, the consciousness of them on the other side guiding you, and your higher self is one and the same. So in so many words, it's one and the same. So they absolutely can guide you, and it's just learning how to feel your way through that, like in that particular instant of getting guided to a cemetery stone. That's fabulous. But I'm guarantee that you felt where you should go. It probably wasn't, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it probably wasn't like, oh, turn right here, go left there, although it could be, but you probably just felt like pulled to a certain place. In galleries or any kind of like class that I lead, people will also often hear me say, I feel a question, or I feel 6 of you have a question. And what that is that I feel like I'm pulled in like 6 spaces. And I'll know a question's over here. It's one of those 2 people, because I literally feel kind of a pull in the form of a question on me. So once you start paying attention to those feelings, you get really good at them. Mothers are natural at this. You feel, when that baby's waking up, you feel the difference. The minute that child is going to wake up, you're like, the energy changed in this room. Like, oh my gosh. Or you feel when they fall asleep. So to this day, I mean, it doesn't even have to be babies. I know when the house is empty and it feels one way versus when everybody's coming in, even if they're just upstairs in their room and my kids are teenagers now, but there's still a slight possible of a pull. So you feel all that. So the whole point is to tune in and really focus on how you're getting your information. And I love to teach this stuff. Love it, love it, love it. Because it only helps people. It only helps people feel empowered. It helps people feel connected, like you said, Christy. And what better thing is that? That's what we want the world to feel. That's what I want the world to feel, because the more of you who feel connected and empowered and centered, the better the world goes. The better the whole wide world goes. Hello, Aubrey from Scotia. Let's see. Oh, Sharon, let's talk about that. So for those of you who are on Instagram, I am loving Instagram. I don't post videos as much as I should, and I'll tell you why. Because to be honest, I really wish I wasn't this type, but people go, oh, just jump on and do like a quick video. No, that requires like a whole makeup thing. Like, I don't get the whole filter thing. I'm 43 years old. I need a lot of filters, and I need, like, I don't know, lighting. I don't know, posing. I don't know. The girls today and the kids today are like coming out of the womb knowing how to pose. It amazes me. So I love Instagrams, but I usually post just like quotes. And eventually, if I learn the filter stuff, I'll do more videos. But yesterday morning, I had a thought, and what Sharon's referring to. So if you're on Instagram, find me. It's where's my Instagram thing? It's down there. Instagram at I am Deborah Hanlon. I posted, have you done right by your parents? And this it's a long story how this came to me, but really so often I think, have my parents done right by me? Or where have they fucked me up? Or where have they done really well? But I never flipped it in my own head about the other way around, that how are they viewing me as far as how I represent them? And that really got me. And it was actually lyrics to a song that prompted this whole thought into me. Um, but yeah, it's like a really intense thing because then it led me to think, did I do right by my parents? And at first I thought, does that mean I want their approval? And I thought, no, I'm so fucking past needing their approval. Thank God. Like $90 million of therapy later, I finally don't need their approval. But I was thinking, like, what did they teach me? Like, did they set out to teach me certain things? Did they want, and they're both still alive. I could like ask both of them. I'm sure one of them is on right now, actually. Um, but that wasn't it either. I was thinking, did I do right by them? Am I embodying their teachings? Am I doing right by them? And I don't know. I think it's a really interesting question to ask because I think so often, I know myself, I like to think, what did they do to me? But what if we flip that? What did I do to them? What will I make it proud? Did I make them proud? I'm sure in ways I did. Did I upset them? I'm sure in ways I do. I don't know. It's just a really interesting question. So you can find that on Instagram and like read my little thing that I wrote, but it's definitely worth looking into because then I thought, do I want my kids to do right by me? And the answer to that is actually no. I want them to find a right for themselves and follow that and feel good. And in that answer, I think I have my answer with my parents in my own answer. That might not be what they wanted for me, but I feel that I have found my own compass. And I like my compass. I like my life. I like the people in my life. I love the people in my life. I have no people in my life that I don't love. Like I either love them or I don't have to be around people. It's amazing. I have supportive, amazing girlfriends, amazing people around me all the time. I love my life. I created a compass. I created a life. I'm living it. I'm not happy all the time by any stretch of the imagination. I'm constantly thinking I'm never enough. It's not good enough. I could do more. I could do better. I should be doing this just like all of you. And then I think to myself too, like, someday I'm going to die too. And then I'm going to waste all my energy on wishing all those things not. So Sharon, I'm glad you brought this up because it really did hit me. I like to spark that thought. I like to poke the ouch parts of you too, all of you, because that's where we grow. That's where we think. That's where we evolve. So yeah, let me know what you guys think on that. Preferably answer it on my Instagram. And if you haven't found me on Instagram, please find me. Go find me on Instagram. And if you don't have Instagram, get one. It's not complicated. I thought it was. Twitter, I can't figure out for the life of me. Snapchat, forget it. No way. Facebook, easy for me. YouTube, pretty easy for me, sort of. And Instagram, super easy and very positive. So yeah, Bonnie from East Nassau. Hello. Thank you for joining us tonight. Okay, let's see. People are still commenting on snakes. I'm very far behind. A snake massage. Oh my God. I'm going to like faint. I'm going to die. I'm literally going to die just at the thought of that. Okay. Marissa, yes. When I have a meditation on live, if I do a virtual meditation, for those of you who sign up for my meditations virtually, if you can't make it at the time that I'm doing it, the virtual meditation will be sent to you in a link. So yes, you can do it at a later time. And I only record the meditation part. I don't record the conversation before and after, only because that would probably just be irrelevant with you just listening in. And it's difficult to hear everybody. So I only record the meditation time. That's a good question. Okay. Victoria, this is a great question. Victoria, I think you said you were from Manhattan too, right? See this little spot in my shirt? It's pissing me off, but okay. Now you guys, you probably didn't see it, but now you do, and I drew attention to it. Now it's going to drive all of you crazy, and as if it's driving you guys crazy, then it won't drive me as much crazy. Okay. Victorious, sometimes when you meditate, specifically chakra meditations, you'll get the spins and have to open your eyes and come out of it because it makes me dizzy. Yes. Do I have any idea what this means? Yes. Um, I would absolutely work very, very strongly on grounding your energy more. So I like to use the imagery of roots coming out of your feet and almost like making your entire, from your hips down through your feet, like a trunk of a tree, and really, really grow yourself deep into the earth. That helps with grounding because I would say you're pretty creative energy. I just know from your name, just your vibration tuning in right now. And I'm not doing personal intuitive questions right now, but um you're pretty creative, so I think that means that you're coming up out of like your head space a lot more, which means grounding would probably make you feel dizzy, but the grounding is what you need. So thinking like a tree is best. What does that mean? The most powerful, strong, beautiful, vibrant, healthy trees have really, really, really strong, deep roots, and they have strong trunks, and then they can have amazing, abundant branches. So think like a tree. Deep roots makes you actually grow and yield more fruit and have more abundance and length and what's the word I'm looking for? Growing, evolving. Uh, I don't have the word. I don't have the word, but the fruits of everything. Think that way. That should help. And it would depend on what chakra, if you've noticed what chakra in particular, what that you get to where this starts. I would guess that would probably be between the throat and the third eye that it would start to get you dizzy. Maybe for your heart, which would be another whole set of stuff. If you're following your passion and living out your passion, and you're getting dizzy, it's grounding issues. It's needing to really dig deep. If it's more into the heart and you're not following your passion, but you're very creative and you know you have a passion, it could be because you're not following your heart. So for you, it might be a little bit different, but in either case, roots will help. So think like a tree. Okay, Rich. Do I offer guided meditation to find your spirit guides? Someone told your spirit guide is named Andrew, but I want to see if that's accurate. That's a really great question. I keep like my next meditation CD, I have 2 out already. My next meditation CD, and I always have like 8,000 ideas, and I just need to buckle down and get to them, is actually meeting your spirit guides, because one of the most profound meditations I've ever done is like myself doing was meeting my spirit guides, and it was just such a cool meditation. I think it is so much more powerful to experience the spirit guides versus hearing someone telling you it. I mean, it's cool when someone tells you, oh, by the way, this person's your guide or this energy or whatever. It's cool, but it is like far more powerful when you actually experience it yourself. So maybe you could light a fire under me and just get that CD done. That would be great. But that is powerful. And you might in a meditation not come up with Andrew at all, but that doesn't mean that the person, Andrew, that energy is not around you. It just might be that you didn't need to connect with that portion or that particular guide for yourself. So you can let go of the word, whether it's accurate or not, and just see if what comes up. And a lot of times many come up, not just one. I'm drinking hibiscus tea, by the way, because the medical medium says to do that for our livers. So that's what this is. It's fantastic. Sheila, you should have gotten your link for your meditation already this afternoon. But if not, let me know. Send an email to the office. I know Michelle was working on it. We talked about it. She was over at my house today at 1:30. So we did talk about it. Bonnie, do I ever join Brian and Chrissy on the radio in Albany anymore? I haven't. It's not like shelved or off the table. It's just I haven't. So if you can light a fire under them to get me back, and it's not really them, it's more their bosses that call me in when it's time. So if you could light a fire under them, anybody in the Albany, anybody, anywhere, go to WGNA. They're going to love me for this. And say, hey, where's Deborah? We want Deborah back. That always helps my cause. Let's see. Can dogs sense a spirit? Hello, Vicky. Your boyfriend says he feels the spirit of a cat on his bed. When my dog was on his bed, he was acting very strange, agitated. Maybe he sensed the spirit of the cats. Perfect. Yeah. Animals of all sort can totally sense energy, whether it's animal energy, person energy, just energy in the air. They feel the mood of your house change. So animals are so perceptive. So absolutely, it's quite possible for sure. Um, let's see. Melanie, that's a good question. When you forget about until Monday about meditation, can you pay for the previous night after it happened to add to our collection? That's a question that you have to ask Michelle, who's in charge of sending out that link. I don't think so because it becomes a storage issue of where we store the meditation, and all these meditations create a lot of take up a lot of memory. So it depends on where it's stored. If you joined Zoom, then you're logged into Zoom and you check in through Zoom. If you didn't join it ahead of time, we can't bring you to Zoom after the fact. So we're working on that. But I would ask Michelle more quickly. Facebook people, there's a lot of you over here, and I'm so amazed that Facebook, you still stay tuned in, even though I don't even answer your questions over here. So if you want to get a question answered, you can pop over to my YouTube channel. Let's see. Does everyone have a spirit guide? From Susan. And how can we learn who our own guide is? Definitely a guided meditation would help. You can go to people. I don't do guides so much, and that's because I'm so wired for proof that I will get into my own head about well, how do I know Raphael is their guide? And why am I saying their guide's name is Peter? And, all of those things. So I like proof. I stick with the living or the formerly physically living, your loved ones, deceased loved ones. But a good guided meditation is super, super powerful. But yes, everyone has spirit guides, and most of us, everyone really has multiple. And it changes, it evolves, which is pretty cool. Okay, yes, Sharon is a popular meditation freak, and she said that amazing meditation, going back to my conversation 20 minutes ago. Those of you just tuning in too, if you can give a thumbs up, like the video, or press thumbs up, and it's not the thumbs up in the comment, but it's somewhere on your page where you can press a thumbs up. That'd be great. Let's see, Aubrey, this is a great question. This may have been asked before. You're an art therapist and you've used guided meditation and then encouraged art making at the end. Do you feel I should have more training? You never can not benefit from more training, but I love, in fact, since I'm very, very little, I was exposed with Elizabeth Kubler-Ross when my brother was dying and all of that. I was 3 years old. My mom took me to all of Dr. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross workshops, and in her workshops, she did a lot of art therapy. And so it was like a natural, normal thing in my life where I would draw pictures and people would look at them and try to figure them out and see them. And then I learned to look at photos and notice oh, there's 6 flowers. That means there's 6 family members, and just so cool in the different quadrants of the paper. So you can never not benefit from getting more training. So I would highly recommend it because you could use so many more tools in your toolbox. But that also goes to meditation and looking at your own artwork, of course. But art therapy is fascinating, and what comes out in photos and pictures that people draw are amazing. And Dr. Bernie Siegel talks a lot about art therapy as well. So I don't know if you've looked him up. I've actually had him on my show before. Let's see. Michaela, I love this question, and I'm really glad you're asking this. So those of you who know me know that I'm out in the clouds and I'm totally not. I'm airy-fairy and I'm totally not. I'm a fucking asshole and I'm totally not. I'm all of these different, I'm both extremes. I'm sorry, Facebook. I shouldn't be cursing so much. I hope kids aren't around. And if they are, so anyway, Michaela writes, people say that seeing a cardinal is a sign of a loved one visiting you. Is this something that is legitimate or just something people say to make you all feel all warm and fuzzy? So here's the thing with like these universal signs. It drives me crazy that there's like all of a sudden the concept of these universal signs of your loved ones. I've seen these posts that like, how do you know your loved one's around? You'll see a feather. How do you know your loved one's around? You'll see a cardinal. How do you know your loved one's around? You'll see a butterfly. What if you live in the freaking desert? None of those things are around in the desert. Okay. So like that means no loved ones go to desert. So to a degree, it is very cultural. Facebook and social media have made the cardinal, the feathers, the pennies, the butterflies, the dragonflies, and the ladybugs go ballistic. And I'm not saying these things are not real, because they are. You know, if you have a sign and you have a wink and you have a connection, it's a connection. But just generically saying all cardinals are someone from the other side, if you feel connected to it and it feels real to you, then it is. If you don't, then it isn't. And it really boils down to that. So there's no universal sign for anyone on the other side. And I think that it's a disservice because people will say, like, how come my sister gets all the dimes and I don't get anything? And I'm like, well, if you're going to be asking heaven for money, I want them to send me Benjamins. I don't want a freaking dime across my path. I want like $100 bills coming down, raining on the path in front of me. So be careful when you're realizing that, like, okay, does it feel connected to? Does it feel like a sign? Did it come at that right place? Does it feel? How does it feel? That's always what I say to people. How do you know a sign is a sign? It's how you felt when you received it. That's it. If it felt special and it felt connected, it felt like, oh my God, wow, that was so cool. Oh, wow. Even if you're saying, oh, that's such a weird coincidence, that's probably a sign. If you're like, there's a cardinal. Oh, is that my uncle? I don't know. It probably isn't. So you are your own best knower of all of that. But to say generically that cardinals are the bird for the other side, I disagree. I disagree. It's not just the universal symbol. And yet, today, was it this morning already? This is the longest day ever. Yeah, it was this morning. I was driving home from my son's school, and a cardinal, like, I saw it off the side of the road, and I was like, oh, there's my grandfather. I've never, ever attached a cardinal with my grandfather ever. So apparently today he was. I don't know. Maybe I was listening to the Facebook post in that moment. But if you feel it, it is it. It is it. So go pay attention to how you feel with all these signs, and 8 trillion more. There's 8 bajillion ways that these miracles and these signs will happen. Let's see. Oh, it's so funny. I see Rachel Bruce here. I got a little nervous only because Rachel and Bruce are my ex-father-in-law and mother-in-law's names. So I was like, oh, come on. Why are they tuning in right now? WTF. But I don't think you're them because you're talking about when your due date is ready. So that's exciting that you're due soon and you're not my ex-in-laws. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. So I'm answering it, generalized questions, not so much personal intuitive. So I'm just kind of going through all of these very quickly. I'm seeing Greg having lots of conversation with all of you. Dorothy watching in Texas. Hello. Thank you for joining me. Yes, you didn't pay attention to where you were going. Going back to Christy's question, you felt a pull. I'm going through. James is giving me brownie points. Yes, yes, yes. Talking about the filters. Oh my gosh, you don't like when I poke all of you. Let's see. Good. I'm glad, Marissa, you enjoyed meditation. Oh, you guys are talking amongst yourselves. This creates a whole like complete little family. I swear, we have a little community that I just love. I think we're missing community in our lives. Patty, I've been thinking about you all day. You're here from Stony Point. keep going with the thumbs up. If you click thumbs up, how many of you are on here? 62, 65, 65 of you. I dropped some of you. Some of you thought I was boring. You said, forget it. Okay, Patty, here's a good question. How do you know if people are real intuitive mediums or if they just want to scam you? First of all, go by word of mouth. If you have someone that you really, really trust and they say, hey, you've got to go to this person, give it a sense. First of all, everyone on the whole planet should have healthy skepticism about anyone they see, including me. I mean, me, you don't need to so much, but have some healthy skepticism, even with me. So just don't put all of your expectations in anyone's basket, whether you're seeing John Edward or James Van Praagh or Lisa Williams or Tyler, whoever you're seeing, recognize that you are your own best knower no matter what. Nobody has a better connection to your people than you do, that you did, you do, and you always will have. That's really, really important. And I know so many times, and this is why I don't like mediumship, is because I can feel the heaviness of expectation of the person sitting across from me. And that's hard because there's only so much I can do and feel, and there's so much that I might not get right, or I'll get this right, but I won't get that. So it's a hard thing. So one, healthy skepticism with anyone you go to. Two, you're more powerful than anyone ever. So you keep continuing your connection. Three, word of mouth by somebody who like you really, really trust. Now, a lot of you have those friends and family members that like believe anything, and don't turn to them. Really kind of turn more to the more skeptical or logical minded people in your lives who have a suggestion. And I know that sounds crazy, but those are my best referrals. The people who are like, no, man, I didn't believe in any of this shit, and I went and saw so-and-so, and that's how it happens. Those are the best referral people. People who like just believe anything are probably not your best referral choices. I had a woman come to my office once and she had said that, oh my gosh, I know why my upper back has been hurting me. I saw somebody, and the reason why my upper back's hurting me is because the medium told me that's where my fairy wings were growing in. Right. I was like, wait, what? She's like, yes, oh my God, my back's been bothering me. And like, I swear, I can't make this shit up, you guys. So my back's been bothering me, and like, I'm so happy because my fairy wings are growing in. I'm like, no, I'm like in an insane asylum right here. You're not going to get that shit from me. I'm not talking about anyone's back pains being fairy wings or angel wings. Back pain, I could go metaphysically, like, oh, maybe you're worried about finances. I might go there, but I'm certainly not going all fairy wings on all of you people. So be mindful. Anybody who, I know I hear you guys laughing. I'm not making this shit up. I couldn't make it up if I tried. But where was I going with that? Oh my God, I lost my train of thought, which is not hard. Scam. Asked, how do you know? Oh, yes. People who say there's an evil or negative energy around you, people who start talking out loud and yelling at them in midair, people who have a vibe that feel unstable to you. I'm sorry to say, unfortunately, I'm not saying their mediumship is not real, but honestly, if you are going to put yourself in psychological territory of sitting with a medium, which is really psychologically stressful, you better be sitting with a very stable human being. You really, really must be with someone who's stable, because you will pick up on their energy. An untrained medium can do a lot of transference, so their shit becomes yours. And, constantly during a reading, if there's a mere little thread of something that I can relate to, I'm instantly going, is this my stuff? Is this mine? Is this mine? Is this mine? And some of it'll be like, it is yours, but it's theirs too. It's the same. Or, yep, this is yours. Oh, nope. So a medium skill is like, so much is going on behind the scenes on our end, that pay attention. Are they calm? Look at the environment around them. Um, are they in a professional manner? Are you meeting them in like a house full of cat and the whole place smells like cat pee? Like, I'm sorry to say it, but like if you're going to put yourself in that psychological position, it better all fit and match. So you really have to think very carefully. But I think that people who have longevity, people who have been around a long time, um, typically, are the long-standing energies. But negative energy, evil energy does not exist on the other side. Your loved ones are not suffering. Your loved ones are not angry. Your loved ones are not bitter. There's certain things you have to look for, and it's a really important question that you asked, Patty. So if it feels right to you, it probably is right to you. If it doesn't feel right to you, it probably isn't right to you. And that includes me. I mean, I hate to say it. I'd never want someone to feel like, oh, I didn't like Deb. But they're out there. I've heard from them. There are people like, nah, she sucked. So, you know, I say they sucked too, but that's just me being a human a-hole. So, use your best judgment. If it feels right, it is right. Also, do they allow you to record it? Can you go back and listen to it again? Because I do feel strongly so much is missed in that first session. So if you are able to record it, you can listen back to it. I personally don't like tandem teams where two people are doing it, but that's just my personal style. So hopefully those are good tips to help all of you. Mike, of course you love hibiscus. I'm just getting on this bandwagon. I'm just new to this. So this is really exciting. Aubrey, I like that quote of mine. If heaven is throwing money, I want Benjamins. That's exactly right. Oh, my son Jack is on. Hello, Jack. Okay. Dan Diane. So, do your loved ones know what you're doing 24/7 or just when you're thinking about them? This is a really good one. So I like to mess with people with this one, particularly men, because we all get a little freaked out thinking like, wait, are they watching me now? How about now? What about now? And the answer to that is they have the ability to be connected with you 24/7. And I say these things in my galleries, like a lot of times I've noticed that people at my galleries like won't get up to use the bathroom because they're so scared like their parent or their mom or whoever it is going to come through while they're at their bathroom and they're going to miss them. So they like hold on to their urine for the whole time. And I will say in a gallery, like if you have to go to the bathroom, go. Your loved ones are going to know you're there. They're going to wait until you come back. And I've only had like 2 or 3 where they like didn't listen to that. But it's one of those things like that freaks you out because you're thinking like, wait, why is my father like in the bathroom with me? That's creeping me out. If the person did not watch you use the bathroom, chances are they're not watching you on the other side. So you can't really take a human concept of watching and being with us and place it on the other side. It doesn't really translate, but the ability to connect with them is 24/7. I like to use this kind of analogy. Imagine that, you know how like we all carry around our cell phones and we have 8,000 contacts in our cell phones. All those people in your contacts list are not with you 24/7, like plugged into you, but you have access to them 24/7 through your phone. You could send them a text, you can call them, you can FaceTime them. You have access to them. It's the same way. So think of it in terms of access. You have access, yes, but are they literally like on your shoulder? No. They're not literally on your shoulder. Anytime just a random thought of your loved one comes to you, just out of the blue, I always say that's like them sending you a text. Like, hey, what's up? Just thinking about you. Or you sending them a text. Are you thinking of them? It's like you're sending them a text. So if you can kind of think of it in that way, connection is always two-way. That's a great question. Oh, I know, Susan. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying the book. Scares you to think your own thoughts create my reality. It is scary until you start to catch those things. And then once we start to realize, and we all have what we call shit thinking, right? Like we're all like, oh, it's Monday, or the traffic, or Subaru in the left lane, all that stuff. And we're all like, we're pretty negative creatures. And then all the most positive of at you out there that go like, oh no, I'm really positive. You are the ones I stay far away from the most, because you probably really aren't. It's the most positive people are in really aware of their dark side, their negative side. So just pay attention and realize like, wow, I keep thinking this negative thought over and over and over. Do I need to still have that thought? Do I need to carry it? And 99.9 times out of 100, you don't need to carry that thought. It's just a habitual thought. So um, really just start paying attention and go, oh my gosh, no wonder every, Sunday night I start those, it's a work week thought again. Change the thought. Literally on a Sunday night, for those of you who work Monday through Friday, that Sunday night, go, this is going to be a wonderful week this week. I'm going to really enjoy myself. I'm going to wake up earlier. I'm going to, change the thought and be very, very conscious and deliberate with how you thought and what thoughts you choose to still focus on. So it is scary at first. It totally is. But it doesn't mean, like, I know as a parent, like your worst fear is like something happening to your kids. So you're like, oh, I don't want to think about it. Oh my God, if I think about it, it's going to happen. And it's not quite that. So you don't have to really like go overboard on anxiety of like, oh my God, don't think about the purple elephant in the room. Meanwhile, all of you just had some imagery of a purple elephant in the room. So be mindful, but don't let it freak you out and have like one more thing to add to like the therapist list of like reasons why I'm anxious today. My thoughts are shit, so use it as empowerment versus anxiety provoking. Are you serious? I just see that my son, let me put my son's question up. Question. He's upstairs. I'm downstairs in the studio. Question. Is there any more balsamic vinaigrette in this house? The answer to that question, Jack, would be no. I finished it this afternoon when I actually had a salad, because I actually ate a salad today, which is shocking and mind-blowing, I know, but mommy had a day to herself, and therefore I was able to take care of herself instead of feeding my face with Snickers and chocolate assortment. So no, you can check the garage, which is where we keep all the other dressings, and there's probably 8,000 of those. So that's hysterical. Moving right along. Okay. Aubrey, you have a lot of good questions today. How do I take care of myself? Look at that. Do you feel like I could turn it off? Your gift is always on. I definitely turn it off. I absolutely positively have that on-off switch. I mostly want it off. I really only have it on when I'm sitting right in front of someone in my office, or I'm at a gallery, or, an event that I'm like specifically intended for that. I don't like having it on. There's a lot of mind chatter that's going on while mediumship is happening. So my outside persona apparently seems really, really calm and centered and together, but the inside is like being in a sports bar with like 100 different TVs up on really loud, and I'm just like bouncing around trying to figure out and piece it all together. So I like to be off as far as that. And that's why I like teaching so much more, because it's not draining on my sensory experience during mediumship. When I had a retreat in the Dominican Republic this past February, one of the retreat participants, Laura, did an impersonation of me. And in her impersonation of me, she was impersonating me giving a reading. And I was so shocked because she was doing things like, and I'm staring at her because I wasn't even aware on how calm my outside appears during a reading, which thank goodness I don't show you what's going on inside, because inside is more like, there's a rabbit. The nickname is Rabbit Peter. Peter Rabbit. No, New Jersey. I was born in New Jersey. 5 kids. There's 5 kids in the family. The fourth one passed. Information coming at like the speed of light, and I just have to process it real quick, and I have to know who it belongs to and what category. So it's really all over the place. So that was kind of interesting. So I like to be off. And how do I take care of myself? Snickers. Snickers. Definitely Snickers. Um, Hibiscus tea tonight, meditation, yoga, reading, a lot of downtime. I'm a quiet. I like quiet. I like very little stimulation. Um, External stimulation. I hate all of you. I hate myself for even saying that right now. Moving right along. I just like focused, centered. I don't like a lot of noise. I hate the sound of television. So I usually have quiet on. I've been playing music this past week, which is a little new for me. Um, what else do I do? Baths. Oh, I love taking baths. Really hot, hot baths with tons of lavender oil and Epsom salt and all that good stuff and candles. And oh, incense. I had my incense burning in here tonight. I've been burning sandalwood incense. It's either Nag Champa or sandalwood. Those are my two favorite incenses. So those are some of the ways. I used to play tennis. Haven't played tennis in like 10 years. So I should probably stop saying that I used to play tennis because it's like in another form of my life. But taking care of myself is really mostly quiet. Quiet, quiet, quiet is my big love. And I play stupid backgammon on my phone. That checks me out and I just get like zoned out and just I'm in la la land. Reading, that's important too. Okay. Dorothy, that's a good question. I'm gonna answer it in a broad way. So those of you on Facebook, you should pop over into YouTube. I see you guys over here watching, Amy and Louise and Tammy. I see you all over here, and Andrea. But come over to YouTube, and that's where you can ask a question. So Dorothy asked if you're getting negative feelings about making a decision that would affect your future plans, is that a sign I shouldn't do it? Yeah, probably. If you're getting a no, then listen to it. You don't need to know the why of the no. See, the logical mind always wants an answer and it wants a specific like, well, this is why this isn't good. But the intuitive self knows a much larger picture, and the why at the moment might not be the real reason why you shouldn't do something. So if it's just like, nope, it doesn't feel right, something about it doesn't feel right, that's the answer. That is totally it. So yeah, stick with your gut on that. Ugh, Allison, you sat with an unstable medium. It's very scary. It's very upsetting when that happens. Oh, Eileen, you had a medium whose eyes rolled back in her head. Oh my God, stop. You're scaring me. Okay, so Melanie, this is a good question. How do you determine if you're experiencing self-doubt or if it's your intuition speaking or warning you? This is really important because it's the number one question people ask because they're saying, well, I'm always afraid or I always feel like I shouldn't do something. So this is why personal development is so key into a keen intuition, because you need to know what your conditioned programming set points are. Meaning, are you someone who likes to typically live small and stay in a comfort zone? If you are that type of person and you have allowed yourself to stay in a comfort zone, any change is going to feel scary and you're going to confuse that for an intuitive hit that says, no, don't do this, which is separate from a strong intuitive vibe of, no, don't do this. So you have to learn about yourself. And that is why self-introspection and self-awareness, self-development, therapy, taking on a life coach, whatever it takes for you to really, really grow and learn outside your comfort zone, outside the comfort zone of your parents or your family of origin, is really important so that you can start to see like, wow, I've been living your parents' life, meaning the life they set for you and within the parameters they set, or even your husband or wife or children's parameters. They might not fit anymore, and most often they don't. They really don't fit. Who you were at 20 should not be who you are at 40, which should not be the person you are at 50, 60, 70, and so on. So you should be changing and evolving and moving all the time. So it's going to really come down to personal development and transformation. That's where my work is, because sometimes people say, like, you're a medium. Why are you talking about personal development? Just don't you talk to dead people? And it's like, no, I don't. That's why. It's because there's a progression here. And as you learn about yourself and know thyself, to thine own self be true, that's a template for really pushing yourself forward past your comfort zone and beyond the intuition. So it's a bigger picture there. In the small frame, because you might say to me, well, okay, great, now I have to wait another 10 years to know myself before I can be keen on my intuition. No. There's some real cues within the body. The body can give some good cues as to a yes or no. We'll do that at the end. So remind me. Like I think I did it last week, but it's always good to practice. Show me a yes, show me a no. Really good stuff tonight, you guys. Allison is telling me about the story. What guided chakra meditations do I recommend? Hi, Ali. I hope you and Renee are both listening. What guided chakra meditations? What guided chakra? I have one on my website that's free. If you go to my website, deborahhanlon.com, and you go to shop, and then somewhere in shop, there is a guided meditation there, and it takes you through the chakras. So that's one. And if you can't locate that one, Anodea Judith, Anodea Judith, is the world leading expert on chakras. So I would point you to her, because she would probably have the best guided meditation, best chakra meditation. Although Deepak does a good one too. He gives the Sanskrit names for the chakras too, which I personally like. And I like the way he says them. There's a lot out there. I mean, you could look up so many. Jackie, you were behind a slow Mercedes today. See, it was just the world becoming, coming full circle for you. That's a good one, Andrea. Let's see. Is it true burning sage will get the bad energy out of a room? So it's cool. I like this question a lot. So sage obviously has been around forever and ever and ever. Native Americans use it all the time. But what they found to get rid of bad energy, bad spirits, but what they have found is that burning sage actually purifies the air, which means it burns away different bacteria and molecules that create disease. So if you think back, when somebody, say, all of a sudden got a fever, and because they were sick way, thousands of years ago, they thought they were being taken over by an evil energy, which was a bacteria. So they burned sage, which cleared the area of the bacteria. So yes, literally, quite literally, yes. I also do believe in the power of belief. So if you really believe something is helping you to remove energy, then it'll work, because your mind is clearing the room, which will clear the room. But literally, sage has properties of being able to clear and clean a room. I personally don't like the smell of sage at all. So I don't use sage. I use bells. Bells to me, chimes, bells, I have them all over the center. And anytime in between every single session I do, I close the door. I'll tell the next person waiting, I'll be right with you. And I clear the room. I ring the bells. And I just sit and let the room kind of move the energy. Bells send a sound vibration into the room, and it acts like a sweep, and it just sweeps the energy away. So if you want, you could put little bells on doors. It's also good on your abundance rooms and feng shui to have bells on the door of your on your abundance rooms, so that you are constantly moving the abundance in your life. So that's a great question. Yes, Gina, you switched over from Facebook. Facebook's view is really not pretty. It's just this big, ugly green screen in my desk and nothing cool. You on YouTube are sitting in our room called the library. So, of course, it's daytime, and I think it was snowing. Is that snow on the ground back there? I got to take a new picture. Let's see. Okay. You guys are watching the white specks on my shirt. This is fantastic. Oh, here's one. Renee, happy Monday. Happy Monday to you. What kind of crystals do I like to have around you when you're meditating? I don't really care for crystals, but that's just me. Only I'm not that I don't like them. I have them. One of my most poignant stories in my book is about the first crystal I received, which is pretty cool. You have to read the book to get that story. I like quartz. I have a piece of rose quartz in my bedroom that there's something about this rock that I love and adore. Like rose quartz is all for love and the heart chakra. And every time I hold this quartz, like something really, really good in the terms of love come to me. So I do believe in that particular piece. It's not all rose quartz and it's not polished. It's really, really hard. I love it. Maybe I'll take a picture of it and post it on Instagram to get you guys to go get onto my Instagram. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a picture of my rose quartz and post it on my Instagram so those of you can follow me and see it on Instagram. But I'm not knowledgeable enough on crystals to know enough about them. I do know a lot of people who are. So I would say my rose quartz I like, and I have this clear crystal that I adore that I got. And you have to read my book. And a lot of you probably know that story already. So let's take a moment to do a brief intuitive exercise. And this is really, really simple. Anyone can do it. You can do it for anything and everything. And this is like a practical application of applying your intuition. And in fact, my very own Greg, aka GK, told me about 2 weeks ago that he applied this little formula to a purchase that he was going to buy, or he was not sure if he was going to rent some equipment or buy equipment. And he did this and he got the answer, which is like amazing that he applied my intuitive little formula to something as simple as whether he should buy a piece of equipment or not. So what we do first is I want you all to go ahead and you can say it out loud if you want to. And if you don't want to because you have family and people around you, then say it in your mind. Say, my name is, and then answer that with your name. So don't say mine. So my name is, and just feel how your body feels when you say that. My name is. It's good to close your eyes too. My name is, and then you're going to fill in the blank with your name. Fill in the blank with your first, middle, if you have one, and last name. Okay. Now, I want you all to, same thing, but this time you're going to fill in the blank and feel what your body feels like when you say this to yourself. You're going to say, my name is Abraham Lincoln. My name is Abraham Lincoln. And feel how that feels in your body. So give me a thumbs up or a yes, type in if you feel a difference. You can also type in if you don't. So go ahead, let me know. Do you feel a difference between when you actually say your actual name and when you say a name that is not yours? Facebook people, you can answer this too. And again, try it again. My name is, fill in with your real name. And then my name is, and fill it in with Abraham Lincoln. Is there a difference? Yes, big difference. All of your answers are popping up to me now. So yes, big difference. So, okay. So now I want you then to say the word. I want you to say to yourself, show me a yes. And you're asking your body to show you a yes. Show you a yes. Maybe an imagery of color comes up to you. Maybe, good Melanie, Maybe you feel a certain vibration. I feel things horizontally or vertically a lot of times. So say, show me a yes in your body, feel that, and then ask your body, show me a no. And you feel that difference between a yes and a no. You can let me know if you feel it. Yes, Facebook, good. Hey, Ellen, how are you? Danette, yes, you feel it, good. So yeah, you guys are feeling a big difference. So next time you have a question that comes in that sort of yes-no format, you can do that. Show me a yes, and you ask your body, show me a yes, you feel that. Show me a no, you feel that. And then ask the question, should I move to California? And you'll feel the answer. The mind wants to have domain over it. The mind wants to say, well, of course you should, or of course you shouldn't, blah, blah, blah. But we're not asking the mind, we're asking our intuition. So that's a really, really, really simple technique, and it gets better. And sometimes it's really, really apparent, and sometimes it's not at all. So, if some of you are saying like, I'm not sure, I kind of feel it, not really, then you have to practice it, absolutely practice it, or practice it in a different way. You can say, show me the color of a yes, and see whatever color comes into your mind. Show me the color of a no. Show me the shape of a yes. Show me the shape of a no. You can do left hand and right hand. What hand, in my right hand, what's in there? Is that a yes or a no? For me, it's one. Okay, then that means the left hand is the other. And then feel which way your hand's directed into. There's so many different ways, but this is, let's see, can you do the yes and no with a necklace over your hand using your energy? Yes, that's a pendulum. Yes, people use pendulums, absolutely. I personally like to always use and teach with the body, only because you will always have your body with you. Sometimes if you don't have a pendulum with you, or it's just not available to you. So I always like to use the body. But yeah, you can use a pendulum. You would hang a necklace charm or whatever, and you would hang it over your hand, and you would say, show me a yes, and you'll see the pendulum swing one way versus another. So there's so many different ways. So yes, Melanie, that's a great question. Practice that. Play with that. Show me a yes. Show me a no. Ask your children. I bet the kids will do this effortlessly with no trouble. Like, no, I just feel it. They're going to be like, why are you even asking me? That's dumb. Why are you even saying that? So that is a very good way for you to practice your intuition. We're going to start closing up, but before we do that, don't forget to look up my Introduction to Mediumship class that's coming online and in person, and stay aware of my spiritual summer camp for adults on Mondays throughout the summertime. Kind of excited about that. My energy transformation awareness class starting in September, level 1, and then I have level 2 and 3 in November of 2019, and then the final level master, level 4, is going to start in January 2020. So a lot of stuff coming up, a lot more classes, meditation online and in person. What else do I have coming up? Kicking around a grief class recently. A friend suggested I do a grief class, so kicking that around in the back of my mind. What else do I have coming up? Lots of stuff. So stay tuned. Find me on Instagram. I'm serious. Like, I really, really am liking Instagram. And for those of you who find me, I'm going to take a picture of that rose quartz and I'm going to post it so you'll know. But before I end, let me have you all just sign off with a brief meditation so that you can say that you got your meditation in tonight. It's great and calming for the mind and body, especially for those of you who are about to go to bed. So take a moment to get comfortable with where you are. And I want you to take a really nice deep breath in through your nose. And go ahead and close your eyes. And Stretch your neck and arms and shoulder. Just feel your body right where it is. And continue to just focus on your breath by breathing deep in through your nose and then forcefully yet slowly out your mouth. It's really good for you to exaggerate the breath. So if you don't feel self-conscious of those around you, just make the sound as you breathe in through your nose. Hold that breath at the top and then exhale. And continue to focus and exaggerate your breathing and just focus on my voice. And just allow your body from the top of your head. We're going to scan down quickly through our body and allow our body to become more deeply relaxed. So starting at the crown of our head, just kind of imagine a halo of white light at the very top of our head. And imagine pulling that halo down around our forehead and our eyebrows and our eyes, and every place that halo passes over, instantly it sends relaxation into those parts of the body. So pull the halo down through the eyes, nose, the cheeks, the chin, teeth, lips. Pull it down past your ears into your neck and throat, and allowing these places to become more relaxed. Pull it down over your shoulders and collarbone, your upper back. Allow it to scan down your biceps and triceps. Also scanning your chest, your mid-back, your solar plexus, your abdomen, your lower back. Allow that relaxation to come through your elbows into your forearms, your wrists, and fall out through your hands, out your fingertips. Imagine all this tension or stress just drips out of your fingertips. Allow the halo to come around your hips. Relax your pelvis, your sacrum, your butt, your hamstrings, your quadriceps, your knees, your shins, your calves, your ankles, your Achilles tendons. Allow all that relaxation to just drip into your feet, and any tension or stress just falls out through the tips of your toes. And again, just quickly on your own, imagine that exact sequence. Take the halo at the top of your head and scan down your body. And as the halo passes over the body, it pulls out tension or stress. The body releases any and all tension and stress through your breath and through your finger and toe tips. And focus on your mind and the brain. And imagine all your thoughts are like waves crashing against each other in your mind. Focusing in on your brain, just imagine that your brain becomes just a still lake. So change those crashing waves into stillness. Just use your imagination. Pretend you might actually see the waves calming down into stillness. Or just use your imagination and pretend that you see them. And allow that stillness of the lake become the the stillness of your mind. And any time a thought or a physical sensation comes up, visualize that as a wave and then return that wave to stillness. And view all your thoughts and sensations just like that. As they come up, you can return it to stillness. And go ahead and practice that for the next few moments on your own. I wish you all a very peaceful night's sleep. I wish you all to rest deeply, to give your mind a break. And you will wake up feeling more energized and empowered and centered and calm and clear for your Tuesday morning. Whatever your Tuesday brings to you, know that you are your own best knower. And continue to trust your own self. So have a good night, everyone. Stay tuned in if you'd like. And just continue the meditation. Good night.